All right, let's just get right into it. If you've ever found yourself scrolling, late at night, just digging through stories of heartbreak online, then you know this feeling. You're not just looking for entertainment, you're looking for proof. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We are breaking down that universal and, let's be honest, often super intense feeling of regret after a breakup. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? I mean, studies actually show that the regret we feel over romantic relationships is way more common and more intense than regret about almost anything else in our lives. So if you're feeling it right now, you are definitely not the only one, not by a long shot. Sometimes the best thing you can do when you're in pain is to just name it, to see it written down. It makes it feel less like some unique personal failure and more like, oh, okay, this is just part of the human experience. So let's do that. Let's walk through the top 10 breakup regrets. And coming in at number 1, of course, is this one. It is probably the most common regret of all. It's that awful sinking feeling in your gut when you realize you spent months, maybe even years, in a relationship that was just never going to work, all because you were hoping for a change that was never, ever going to come. I mean, how perfect is this analogy? It just shows you how absurd it feels looking back, right? You knew deep down it wasn't a good movie, you knew the ending was going to be bad, but you just kept watching anyway, kind of stuck. And guess what? The movie never got better. Okay, next we've got a powerful trio here. First, there's the regret of not trusting your gut. Ignoring all those little red flags that, looking back, were more like giant screaming billboards. Then there's regretting how it all ended. Maybe some harsh words were said, maybe you ghosted, or it was just a total mess. And then there's the opposite, that quiet, haunting feeling of, what if? What if I just fought a little harder for them? Oh, this one is huge. This is when the relationship ends, you look in the mirror, and you have no idea who that person looking back at you is. You changed everything, your hobbies, your friend group, maybe even your personality to be what they wanted. And now you're left just wondering, who am I without them? Wow, what a way to say it. You were so busy playing a role in their story that you totally forgot you were supposed to be writing your own. And a huge part of healing from this is reclaiming that main character energy. It's your movie now. These next 3, they go deep. There's the regret over the things you said yes to, those little compromises that just kind of chipped away at who you are. Then there's taking that deep emotional connection for granted. You don't realize how precious that kind of intimacy is until it's just gone. And finally, and this one's really painful, is realizing you let your partner isolate you from your friends and your support system, leaving you feeling so alone when it was all over. Ah, yes, the revenge phase. We've all seen it, maybe we've even done it. It's all those Instagram posts that are a little too happy, or the rebound relationships that are all about showing your ex how great you're doing. But let's be real, it's a one-person show for an audience that already walked out of the theater. And in the end, it usually just leaves you feeling kind of empty. And now for the last one on our list, and this might be the most surprising one of all, the regret of being the person who actually ended the relationship. Yeah, that's a very real thing, and it actually has a name. And this is so, so important to understand. Even if you were the one to say this is over, you are not immune to the pain. It's called dumper's remorse, and it's this really confusing, well-documented mix of relief, but also intense guilt and a whole lot of doubt. And look, the numbers totally back this up. Research shows that almost half, 45%, of all people who end a relationship go on to feel this kind of major regret. So if you're wrestling with that confusing feeling of, oh my God, did I just make the biggest mistake of my life? This is your validation. It's normal. Okay, so we've put a name to the pain. We've seen that pretty much everyone goes through this. So now let's shift gears a little bit. Let's go from the what to the why. We need to get into the psychology of it all. Like, what is actually going on in our brains when we're stuck looking back? This is the big question, isn't it? Because you can't go back in time. You can't unsay the thing you said or unmake that decision. The past is, well, it's the past. So what now? Where do you possibly go from here? Well, here's a little piece of hope for you, and it's grounded in actual science. It's called the fading effect bias. Basically, it's our brain's built-in coping mechanism. Your brain is literally designed to help you heal by making the sting of bad memories fade faster than the warmth of the good ones. Your brain is actually on your side here. So, if our brain is already hardwired to help us out, how can we, give it a little boost? This next part is all about the toolkit, the practical things you can do to take that painful regret and actually turn it into a tool for your own growth. Let's break it down. It's a three-step process. First, you have to stop treating your regret like it's a punishment. It's not. Think of it as data. It's just brutally honest feedback from your past self. Second, you have to practice self-compassion. Seriously, you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. And third, you reframe it. You can't change what happened, but you can absolutely change what it means to you. And this is exactly what that reframing looks like. That time you think you wasted? No, that was an education. You learned something. That identity you lost, you were just shedding an old skin so you could grow into a new one. That huge mistake, that was just the brutally honest feedback we were talking about. The pain really does become the price you pay for some incredibly valuable wisdom. And you have to remember, this feeling, this regret, it's not the end of your story. Not even close. It's just a painful but honestly necessary plot point that is setting you up for a much better next chapter. And hey, if you need a concrete number to hold on to, here it is. Research shows that 71% of people start to feel a lot better right around the 11-week mark after a breakup. Healing isn't just possible, it is statistically probable. There really is a light at the end of the tunnel. Because in the end, that's what this all boils down to. This pain is not your final destination. It's a turning point. So the real question isn't about what you did in the last